Hi and welcome to my latest Skyreach video. This one's about the Skyreach Pro Clouds. Just going to give you a quick couple of instructions here. I'm building a basic sky and saving that as a preset. So if we go ahead here and look at Daz, I've set up a base scene. I've got a distant light, a custom sphere object, a plane and a point light. So the distant light is pointing out towards the horizon, so it will be affecting our cloud layers. What I'm going to go ahead and do is load a background layer. When you render just with the normal background settings, you'll see that you end up with black reflections on any reflective surface instead of a true reflection from the color. So by adding the background dome, we can take care of that issue. You just go here to the prop section, load the background dome. You'll see now that each background dome has a custom gradient, which in the sphere you can see there we've got quite light at the top going down towards a darker horizon, maybe a late in the evening kind of shot there. So we're going to go ahead and add some cloud layers here. So I'm going to go ahead and load all three. So they all have the base default settings on them. I'll do a quick render there just to see what we've loaded. And I find the best way of sorting out what's on each layer if you've loaded all three at once, of course you can load them one at a time changing the settings. It may make it a little easier. I'm going to go ahead and close that test render. And by adjusting the view, you can see the clouds disappear and reappear in the scene. So you can easily detect which cloud layer is where. So I'm going to go ahead and make this large layer a little smaller. You can do this using the frequency settings. I'll adjust the tiling of the texture. So if we take it to ×2, we're quite small there. And even smaller again. So if we go leave it at ×2, what you may find from time to time, you may need to move the clouds higher into the sky or lower. You do this by using the tiling settings. So basically the frequency is adjusted, this tiling, to 2x2 on the horizontal and vertical tiles. And what we're going to do is just change the vertical offset a little. So by pushing the vertical offset up, you can see the cloud layers rising in the sky, or going down, you can see them changing according to the setting there. So I'm just going to raise them up to the top there. Do another quick test render to see how we've changed things there. You can see that may even look like some rain coming in there. And to adjust the colors, you can use the presets set up in the set, or just using your ambience and diffusion. So the ambient is the primary color. So if we make our clouds reddish, you can see the effect there. And the other one will be a diffusion. By adding more diffusion in, you can adjust the glare. So you can see now we have rather pink looking clouds. What I'm going to do is push the diffusion up, and this will let more light hit and it'll give you more bounce. So you can make quite bright clouds there. Obviously you don't want to go too high with this or you'll wash the clouds out totally. I'm going to just reduce that down to half, and I'll have a look here at the other cloud layers. So I'm going to look at the third cloud layer there. You may find you need to rotate your clouds. You do this through the parameters setting. Use the Y rotation to rotate the dome. Looks quite subtle clouds there. I really needed something a bit stronger on that. Also through the parameters you can check where your cloud layer is. 105% is the outer dome, 100% for the middle dome, 98% for the inner dome. So we can see this is the furthest out dome, so I'm going to go ahead and load different cloud material onto it. The cloud material sets here are three different textures for your cloud layer. You go ahead and load cloud layer 1, and we may just use the cloud mechanics here just to make them a little smaller. Again, it looks like I need to bring them up a little higher. So I'm going to go back into the surface library, and again to the vertical offset. You can see that's bringing them up quite nicely. And I'm going to Y rotate them. Do another quick test render. What I'm going to do is just bring that pink down on the first adjustment we made. I think it may be a little dominant. And again, you do this by the diffusion. You only need to change the color very slightly to get quite a major effect, especially on the ambience layer. So I'm going to just go ahead and drop that pink to be a little more subtle. I'll try another test render. So I've still got the pink there with the white. So you can see there's quite a different looking sky there. We've got the pink clouds up the top. And you can see in the sphere here, you can see the full 360 clouds around. I'm going to go ahead and close that. Now what you need to do if you wanted to make this a scene where you could use the cloud set in whatever scene you want, you need to go ahead and delete everything else from the scene. And proceed to save as a scene. Save them where you'd normally save them in your folder structure, just so you can access them somewhere. I'm going to call it Sky 1. Actually, Sky 1, pink and blue. Now I'm going to go ahead and load another scene. See the scene's loading, it's one I set up earlier. We've got a fairly basic scene here, the camera, Stonehenge, the subdragon and lighting. I'm going to go ahead here and delete this background dome, and we'll go ahead and merge the file we just saved. You can see there it's loaded the clouds into the scene. So you can see by saving the clouds like this, you can set up a nice little set of clouds to be used in any scene, or create one custom for a scene you have in mind. You can build the actual sky in the scene if you'd prefer to do it that way, but I just find it helps to build up a couple of skies so that you can just quickly add them to your scene and you're not getting distracted by building skies when working on a set. So thanks very much for joining me today, and I hope this has gave you a few more instructions on how to use the Skyreach Pro Clouds set. And feel free to contact me if you have any questions or anything. Thanks for joining me. Bye.